This week on Granite State Challenge, the team from Manchester Central High School takes on the team from Salem High School. Only one team will advance. Granite State Challenge starts now.
Major funding for the production of Granite State Challenge is provided by Unitil. Additional funding provided by NEA New Hampshire, Safety Insurance, New Hampshire Lottery, DF Richard Energy, HRCU, Cognia, and viewers like you. Thank you. Get ready. It's time for New Hampshire high schools to match wits in a high-stakes scholastic showdown. It's time for Granite State Challenge. Here's your host, John Cannon.
Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us again this week on Granite State Challenge. We are working our way through the first round of our 40th season of Granite State Challenge, and we have a really fun 40th season, 40th question for you later in the match. We've also kept a lot of the same safety protocols from last season, and we've included the change to our round 3, our 3 strikes and you're out round as well, and I'll tell you more about that when we get to it. But most importantly, we have 2 teams here ready to do battle to see who's going to move on to the next round. Let's introduce them to you. First up, we have the team from Manchester Central High School, and they are led by senior captain Kellen. Kellen is joined by sophomore Akshay, junior Tess, and senior Dante. The alternates for Manchester Central are junior Tyler and freshman Nick, and the team is coached by Ed Doyle. And facing off against Manchester Central is the team from Salem High School. They're led by senior captain Valerie. Valerie is joined by senior Donovan, senior John, and Bianca, also a senior. Their alternates are Ethan, Ava, and Kendall, all seniors, and their squad is coached by Bernie Campbell. Those are our teams this week, but of course, we'd also like to introduce you to our judge, Ann Belanger. All right, teams, introductions are out of the way. Go ahead and grab those signaling devices because we're going to play Granite State Challenge. And as you know, in round 1 of Granite State Challenge, we play for 10-point toss-up questions. So, Manchester Central, Salem, good luck. Here we go. This state bird of New Mexico, contrary to Looney Tunes cartoons, does not go beep beep or meep meep. Kellen of Manchester Central.
The Roadrunner.
That's it. This king of Afera was forced to fruitlessly roll a rock up a hill as a punishment from Zeus for trying to cheat death. Akshay of Manchester Central.
Sisyphus?
Yes. If you happen to be in the area of Cork, Ireland, and are looking to acquire the gift of gab, you might want to kiss this. Valerie of Salem.
Blarney Stone.
Blarney Stone's correct. This Christian group takes its name from Roman Catholic priest and Anabaptist leader Menno Simons. Kellen of Manchester Central.
Mennonites.
That's right. Amala Ratna Zandile Dlamini, who had a viral hit with the song Moo, where she raps about the joys of being a cow, is better known by this name, Bianca of Salem.
Doja Cat.
That is it. Monotheism is the worship of a singular god. What is the worship of multiple gods called? Kellen of Manchester Central.
Polytheism.
Yes. Teams in what country will you find Ayers Rock, also known as Uluru? Kellen of Manchester Central.
Australia.
Yes. A single copy of this Old English epic poem featuring Grendel, his mother, and Hrothgar, king of the Danes, is housed in the British Library. Akshay of Manchester Central.
Beowulf?
Yes. The first one of these final resting places was built for King Zoser sometime between 2630 and 2611 BC. John of Salem.
Pyramids?
Yes. If you take one letter away from this odd number, you will make it even. Kellen of Manchester Central.
7.
That's right. The 1976 movie All the President's Men starred Dustin Hoffman and Robert Redford as Washington Post journalists Bob Woodward and Carl Bernstein, who uncovered this presidential scandal. John of Salem.
Watergate?
Yes. The 24-hour cable news channels MSNBC and Fox News are headquartered in New York City. But CNN, the first 24-hour cable news channel, is based in this southern city. Tess of Manchester Central.
Atlanta.
That's correct. Is the moon waxing, winding, welling, or waning as it appears to grow smaller each night? Akshay of Manchester Central.
Waning.
Yes. In most states, routes through a mountain range or over a ridge are called mountain passes. In New Hampshire, they are called this. Kellen of Manchester Central.
Bypasses.
Sorry, no. We call them notches. In Incan society, the wool of this cousin of the llama was so soft that clothing made from it was reserved for royalty. Kellen of Manchester Central.
The alpaca.
Sorry, no. We were looking for the vicuna. Anna Maria Jarvis, who was the founder of this holiday celebration in May, was later disappointed in how commercialized the day became and organized boycotts of the holiday. Kellen of Manchester Central.
May Day.
Sorry, no. Donovan of Salem.
Mother's Day?
Mother's Day is correct. Frank and Joe were mystery-solving brothers in a series of novels written between 1927 and 2005 by a series of ghostwriters known as Franklin W. Dixon. Kellen of Manchester Central.
The Hardy Boys.
That's right. Teams, 2 U.S. presidents have been divorced. Name both of them. Kellen of Manchester Central.
Woodrow Wilson and
Oh, sorry, no. Salem, want to give it a try? Bianca?
Donald Trump and Roosevelt.
Sorry, no. You got one. Donald Trump. Ronald Reagan was the second. First held on January 1st, 1890, the Rose Parade features elaborate floats decorated with flowers. What California city, that is also the setting for the TV series The Big Bang Theory, hosts the parade? John of Salem?
Pasadena.
Yes. In what building will you find the China Room, the Map Room, and the Vermeil Room? Kellen of Manchester Central?
the White House.
That's it. This state was admitted to the Union in 1861 when it separated from a Confederate state. Kellen of Manchester Central.
West Virginia.
That's it. All right, teams, the next question is a picture question, so go ahead and take a look at the monitors in front of you. This painting by Frederick Church depicts the ruins of this temple in Athens dedicated to the goddess Athena. John of Salem.
The Parthenon.
That's it. The capital of this state is named for frontiersman Kit Carson. Kellen of Manchester Central.
Nevada.
That's it. This New England state's state flower is the white pine cone and tassel. Kellen of Manchester Central.
Maine.
Maine is right. The northernmost land invasion by the Confederate Army occurred in 1864 when 24 Confederate soldiers robbed the St. Albans Bank. Kellen of Manchester Central.
New York.
Sorry, no. Donovan of Salem.
Pennsylvania.
Sorry, no, believe it or not, it was in Vermont. This unit of measure is represented by the power needed to move 550 pounds 1 foot in 1 second. Dante of Manchester Central.
Horsepower.
That's it. All right, teams, you have pencil and paper there in case you need it. How much will you save if you buy a $56 sweater that is discounted by 12%? How much will you save if you buy a $56 sweater that is discounted by 12%? Oof. A lot of math, not a lot of time. $6.72. In a career that spanned 9 decades, this actor portrayed Sue Ann Nivens on The Mary Tyler Moore Show, Rose Nyland on the Golden Girls, and Elka Ostrowski on Hot in Cleveland. Donovan of Salem.
Betty White.
Yes. The musical Man of La Mancha is a play within a play based on the 1959 teleplay I, Don Quixote, which was based on Don Quixote by this author. Kellen of Manchester Central.
Cervantes.
Cervantes is right. And it looks like we are at the end of round one. And at the end of round one, Manchester Central out to a bit of a lead. All right, good job, Manchester Central. Good job, Salem. We are going to continue on into round two. And in round two, we continue with our toss-up questions. We're going to double the point value. So these are 20-point toss-up questions. Good luck. Here we go. Teams, what are the 4 states of matter? Akshay of Manchester Central.
Solid, liquid, gas, plasma.
That is it. 19 presidents served in the House of Representatives before becoming president, including Richard Nixon, Gerald Ford, and Franklin Pierce. But this is the only president to serve in the U.S. House of Representatives after serving as president. Kellen of Manchester Central.
John Quincy Adams.
Yes. The birth name of this author, who wrote under the pen names Mark Twain and Thomas Jefferson Snodgrass, was this. Akshay of Manchester Central.
Samuel Clemens.
Yes. All right, teams, we have reached our Unitil Power question, and this is a question where we double the points. A 40-point question coming to you on your monitors. Take a look.
You might be shocked to learn that scientist Michael Faraday tested the properties of this freshwater fish.
Kellen of Manchester Central.
Trout.
Sorry, no. Donovan of Salem.
Bass.
No, it was the electric eel. What is the name of the strait that separates Chukchi Peninsula in Russia from Alaska's Seward Peninsula? Kellen of Manchester Central.
Bering Strait.
That's it. The Mariana Trench is the deepest ocean trench on Earth. At its deepest point, it is close to 7 miles deep. In what ocean is it found? Kellen of Manchester Central.
The Pacific.
Yes. This castle, built by William the Conqueror in 1078, was a prison from 1100 until 1952 and is also home to the crown jewels of England. Kellen of Manchester Central.
Tower of London.
Yes. This theater award is named for actor, director, and co-founder of the American Theater Wing, Antoinette Perry. John of Salem.
Tony?
The Tony is right. This ancient Roman poet told the story of Aeneas, who fled the Trojan War and traveled around what is now Italy and played a role in the founding of Rome in his epic poem, Aeneid. John of Salem.
Virgil?
Yes. Teams, who is the only person to have won a Nobel Prize in chemistry and physics? Bianca of Salem.
Albert Einstein.
Sorry, no. Kellen of Manchester Central.
Marie Curie.
She's the one. All right, teams, we have reached our 40th question of the match, and this question is worth 40 points, and it comes to us from season 33. This scientific instrument's name is derived from the Greek for small look. John of Salem.
Microscope?
That's it. In the cartoon, Phineas and Ferb, Dr. Heinz Doofenshmirtz uses the Meltonator 6 5000 to melt or liquefy things. Spell liquefy. Bianca of Salem.
Liquify.
Sorry, no. Dante of Manchester Central.
Liquifiy.
Nope. It is Liquefy. Tricky one there. Arthur Miller, Neil Simon, Edward Albee, and Lillian Hellman are all well-known American playwrights. Spell playwright. John of Salem.
Playwright.
Yes, well done. Teams, in what part of the U.S. Constitution will you find calls to provide for the common defense and ensure domestic tranquility? Valerie of Salem.
The preamble.
Yes, right. You will find the flower-crowned skull of this Roman saint associated with love in the Basilica of Santa Maria in Cosmedine in Rome, Italy? John of Salem.
Valentine.
Yes. The movie version of this fairy tale features a teacup named Chip. Donovan of Salem.
Beauty and the Beast.
Yes. What instrument measures radioactivity by detecting alpha, beta, and gamma rays? Kellen of Manchester Central.
Geiger meter, Geiger counter.
Yes, as the Geiger counter is correct. Well, we'll wait to get to that question until round 4, and after 2 rounds, Manchester Central hanging on to its lead by a score of 320 to 240. All right, teams, we are going to roll into round 3, our 3 strikes and you're out round, and in that round, each team gets a category of 10 questions. We'll ask 1 question to each team member as we go down the line. Each team has 3 passes and can pass to the person next to them. And we continue until all the questions are asked or until 3 strikes and you're out. So, Salem, as the team trailing, you get to select first, and Valerie, as team captain, you get to make the choice between these categories: Book It, Lucky 7, and It's War.
It's war.
It's War. Okay. The following answers will all be words that begin with W-A-R. Valerie, male witches can be called this.
Warlock.
Correct. Donovan, when you buy an expensive item, you might want to buy one of these in case it breaks.
Warranty.
Yes. John, toads are known to have these.
Warts.
Correct. Bianca, this is the capital of Poland.
Pass.
Okay. Valerie, same question.
Warsaw.
Warsaw is correct. Donovan, this is the surname of the man who adopted little orphan Annie.
Warbucks.
Correct. John, these are small songbirds or an all-boy glee club in the TV series Glee.
Warbles.
Warblers is correct. Bianca, this is a place to keep clothes.
Wardrobe.
Correct. Valerie, this is a prison supervisor.
Warden.
Correct. Donovan, in the movie The Lion King, Pumbaa is one of these.
Warthog.
Correct. And John, this is what you want to be after you shovel snow.
Warm.
Warm is correct. And is that 10 out of 10 with a bonus of 10 points for getting them all correct? Well done, Salem. Very well done. All right, Manchester Central, we turn to you, and Kellen as team captain. You can choose from Book It and Lucky 7.
Lucky 7.
Lucky 7, okay. The answers to the following will all include the word or number 7, okay? Kellen, this Disney movie features a young girl who lives with a group of minors.
Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
Correct. Akshay, this convenience store's name is taken from its original operating hours.
7-Eleven.
Correct. Tess, this magazine aimed at teens was first published in 1944.
17.
Yes. Dante, this Nathaniel Hawthorne Gothic novel is set in Salem, Massachusetts.
Pass.
Pass. Kellen, same question.
Scarlet Letter.
Sorry, it's House of the Seven Gables. Akshay, this lemon lime soda was introduced by the Howdy Corporation in 1920.
Pass.
Pass. Tess?
7-Up.
7-Up is correct. Dante, this 1954 film set in 1586 Japan was directed by Akira Kurosawa.
I don't know.
It is the Seven Samurai. Kellen, this traditional dinner is served by many Italian-American families on Christmas Eve.
Pass.
All right. Akshay, same question. That is your last pass. No? It is the Feast of the Seven Fishes. And with that, there are, correct? 4 correct on your 3 strikes round. All right. Well, things tighten up just a bit. Wow, really close. We've got a 10-point match here, folks, and we go into round 4 where we continue with our 20-point toss-up questions. However, we will be deducting 20 points for any incorrect responses. So play smart and play strategic, Manchester Central and Salem. Good luck, here we go. Before he became vice president, this man was a radio talk show host and the governor of Indiana. Dante of Manchester Central.
Mike Pence.
That's correct. In Greek mythology, one look from this Gorgon with snakes on her head will turn you to stone. Valerie of Salem.
Medusa.
Yes. In 1898, this Italian inventor sent a radio signal across the English Channel. In 1901, he sent a radio message across the Atlantic Ocean from Cornwall, England to Signal Hill in St. John's, Newfoundland. John of Salem.
Marconi.
Correct. According to this saying from the New Testament, you should never cast pearls before this. You should never cast pearls before swine. In the Divine Comedy by Dante, the gates of hell warn those who enter to abandon all of this. To abandon all hope. There are 40 extant species of this marine mammal found in oceans and rivers. Species include spinner, bottlenose, Atlantic spotted, and Amazon river. Kellen of Manchester Central.
Dolphins.
That is correct. This actor who played Elliot's little sister Gertie in E.T. was the host of Saturday Night Live when she was 7 years old, making her the youngest person to ever host the show. Kellen of Manchester Central.
Drew Barrymore.
Yes. Singer Mahalia Jackson, known for songs like Go Tell It on the Mountain and Precious Lord, Take My Hand, is often referred to as the queen of this genre of music. Dante of Manchester Central.
Soul.
Sorry, incorrect. She's the queen of gospel. What is the name? What is the given name, of the rapper who has gone by the stage names P. Diddy, Diddy, Puffy, and Puff Daddy? Kellen of Manchester Central.
Sean Combs.
Sean Combs is right. This sweet compound is made up of 12 carbon atoms, 22 hydrogen atoms, and 11 oxygen atoms. Tess of Manchester Central.
Sugar.
Yes. Josh Gad provides the voice for this animated snowman in the 2013 movie Frozen. Donovan of Salem.
Olaf.
Yes. Leonardo DiCaprio played the fictional character Jack Dawson in this 1997 movie about a very real incident. Donovan of Salem.
The Titanic.
Yes. Chadwick Boseman played T'Challa in this 2018 movie set in the fictional African country of Wakanda. John of Salem.
Black Panther.
Yes. This species of monkey gets its name from its very loud call, which can be heard up to 2 miles away. Kellen of Manchester Central.
Howler monkey.
That's correct. This president's last words were erroneously, quote, Thomas Jefferson still survives. Kellen of Manchester Central.
John Adams.
That is correct. Star Wars Day is celebrated on this date every year. John of Salem.
May 4th.
May the 4th be with you. This protagonist of the Hunger Games trilogy is played by Jennifer Lawrence in the movies based on the novels. Dante of Manchester Central.
Katniss Everdeen.
That's correct. This city in the Pacific Northwest is sometimes called the Emerald City because it is filled with greenery year-round. It is also known as Rain City and the coffee capital of the world. Kellen of Manchester Central.
Seattle.
Yes. Teams, what were the clocks striking in the opening line of George Orwell's novel 1984? Valerie of Salem.
12.
Sorry, no. Kellen of Manchester Central.
13.
They were striking 13. When you make bread, yeast reacts with the sugar in the dough when it is heated and releases this chemical compound, which forms pockets in the dough, causing it to rise. Donovan of Salem.
Carbon dioxide.
Correct. A boy named Ryder leads a crew of canine characters to protect the town of Adventure Bay in this cartoon. John of Salem.
Paw Patrol.
Yes. Teams, what solid form of carbon dioxide is used to both cool things and make fake special effect fog? Akshay of Manchester Central.
Dry Ice.
Yes. In addition to being the author of The Robots of Dawn, The End of Eternity, and Foundation, he was also a professor of biochemistry at Boston University. Kellen of Manchester Central. Sorry. Oof. That is the sound, and after a very tightly well-played match, Manchester Central will be moving on to the next round. Congratulations, Manchester Central, on a very well-played, tightly played game, and Salem, what a well-played game. Thank you so much for coming. We hope you had fun. I know my heart is racing, and I hope that you at home enjoyed the match as well. We hope you join us next week when the teams from Londonderry and Winnacunnet High Schools face off. That'll be it for us for this week on Granite State Challenge. We hope you had fun. I learned a lot, and I hope you did as well. We'll see you next time.
Major funding for the production of Granite State Challenge is provided by Unitil. Additional funding provided by NEA New Hampshire, Safety Insurance, New Hampshire Lottery, DF Richard Energy, HRCU, Cognia, and viewers like you. Thank you.